Hello, I'm Scott Hackworth of Industry Insights, and it's good to be with you for this quarter's weather report for the pool and hot tubs industry. Let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to start off by looking at the top challenges that business owners are citing in terms of what is keeping them up at night. Leading the pack and consistently being among the top challenges is the economic factors such as inflation, consumer spending patterns, and then maintaining profits. And so both of those associated with costs and the economy, consumer spending, and those have remained fairly stable over the past year. Recruiting and retaining skilled employees, however, dropped a little bit in terms of it being a concern of companies. So definitely a little softening there. And then I want to point out the increase in competition has surged a little bit. So more companies are citing competition as one of their main concerns that they're currently facing. So let's look at some of the national economic indicators. Real GDP. Real GDP was about 2.3% in the most recent marking, and which is consistent. In fact, it's essentially the average that has been experienced over the last few years. So it's been pretty solid. We do expect real GDP to drop, possibly significantly here in the next quarter, next 2 quarters. A lot of that is going to be, even though you're going to see a lot on the headline numbers, a lot of that is going to be caused by imports, a disproportionate number of imports trying to get out in front of the tariffs. So we do expect that's going to have some real impact on this economic measure. How much actual impact it has on the economy is yet to be seen. So we'll need to stay tuned for that. But do just be on the lookout for real GDP to drop pretty significantly here in the next quarter or 2 quarters. Housing starts. Housing starts had an interesting year. Multifamily housing throughout the year in 2024 was down significantly, while single-family homes were up quite a bit. So really a mixed effect there between the two types. And so here in 2025, as we look at that, we do expect some growth overall with housing starts. We do expect that to improve. And then we're really looking forward to 2026, where we think things will hopefully be even better. So we're expecting a little bit of slow growth here in 2025 and better growth in 2026. Looking at a key factor of that, which is inflation and monetary policy. Right now, we're at 4.375 for the federal funds rate. We do expect that Jay Powell is going to maintain that rate here at least through March and possibly even through the next session in April. So we don't expect that to change as we have this wait and see policy as we look at the impact of tariffs and a lot of the other things that are going through the economy, such as the employment and lots of other factors. So Jay Powell is very patient. So we expect him just to maintain, and we'll see what happens there. The unemployment rate remains very, very low, and it's currently 4.1%. And that anything under 4.5 is considered full employment. So we know that we're very low there. It has been, fairly rough, but still easing. So 2024 did give us a little bit of reprieve in terms of the challenges of finding and retaining employees. And right now, employees are reluctant to jump. So there's some uncertainty. So they are being retained more easily than they're being hired. And so we're seeing some interesting storylines there. But certainly, at least the employees are less likely to jump than they were there in 2023 and prior. And then just the number of unemployed persons per job opening is 1.1 person for every job opening. So it's still, again, very, very tight, but that is a very large improvement from the 2-to-1 that we were seeing in 2021. So now we're going to turn our attention just specifically to the industry and what business owners are telling us is happening in their world. So builders and remodelers, we asked them, what do you expect over the next 12 months? And as you can see here, we see a lot of orange, which that's optimism, that's sales growth expected ahead. So in fact, more than 20% expect growth in excess of 10% next year, or here and now in 2025. So for the year ahead. And so we see a lot of really good growth expectations. And when we look at service providers, we also see a lot of optimism. And service providers have had it really, really good here in the last few years. And so they don't expect that to change at all as they continue to service and maintain all of the pools and hot tubs that were installed as a result of the COVID pandemic. And retailers have rebounded their enthusiasm. They did have a decent finish to 2024, and they remain very optimistic about the year ahead. So while there's not as much dark orange, so a lot of that is the more pale orange color, which signals 1 to 5% growth, still the vast majority, more than 75%, are expecting some growth during 2025. And when we look specifically by product type, the new pool sales started 2024 fairly well. So Q4 of 23, the start of 24 was okay, bottomed out a little bit here in Q2, Q3 of the year, and came back a good amount in Q4. So somewhat pushing that optimism that's being experienced by the builders, remodelers as they finished out the year. So we did see a little bit of rebound in the new pool sales to finish out the year. Remodel sales, we see a lot more orange. So consistent, continued growth. And in fact, amongst the builders, remodelers who experienced growth, most of that growth came from the remodel jobs. So we saw a lot of that certainly providing the lifeline and being the focus of a lot of builders and remodelers. So, but we do see that continue to inch up, finished out the year relatively strong. And the portable hot tubs and swim spas. 2024 was a better year for them. And as we see with the orange, with the level of orange in Q3 and Q4, it was a much improved period to finish out the year than how the previous quarters had been. So we do see that. We are hoping that we've now seen the bottom and that the bottom was somewhere at the end of 2023 and that now we are definitely firmly in a rebound. So some closing thoughts. Builders had a very split experience. 40% saw year-over-year sales increase during Q4, where 39% saw a decrease in sales. So again, very, very split. They continue to deplete any remaining backlog, and remodels did have an uptick with 52% saying that they saw a year-over-year increase, and another large portion saying it was relatively stable. And they are optimistic, with 76% expecting an increase in sales and only 13% expecting a decrease. When we look at the service and repair companies, they continue to see strong growth, and where 64%, so nearly 2/3, experienced a sales increase. Strong profits continue, where they continue to boost their profits as well, and 92% of them expect growth to continue or expand in the next 12 months. And then retailers, they saw mixed performance in Q4, with 56% experiencing an increase and just 26% seeing a decrease. The hot tub sales, we hope that we've hit a bottom and we are going to gradually improve and that that's going to remain through 2025. And optimism did return quite a bit in Q4, with 82% expecting sales growth in 2025. So with that, I do want to encourage you to, for anyone looking for more information, more research that's out there, PHTA provides a wealth of information to its industry. So go to phta.org and you can find all of that information there. We do currently have the Business Operations Survey, or the BOSS survey, available. And so that is fielding, which that is a financially focused survey and provides a lot of information back to those who participate in the form of an individual report and a dashboard and lots of other great resources there. And then also, please be on the lookout for the next quarterly Pulse survey, which will be available in April. And so we'll be fielding that so that we can get you the latest results out as soon as possible for that as well. And with that, I'm signing off. I'm Scott Hackworth of Industry Insights. It's good to be with you, and have a great day.